Anji. Good morning, students. Uh, Today we will do the next concept in the wireless communication system subject is performance criteria. Yesterday we have done a basic cellular system. Now we will do the perform. Next topic is your performance criteria. So we can divide the performance criteria means how's your mobile communication is evaluated, that is based upon three categories. First is your voice quality, second is your service quality, and third is your special features. Okay, now I will explain these all three categories on which your mobile performance will be evaluated one by one. Now, firstly, I will concentrate on the first quality, that is your voice quality. Okay. In general language, I will say what is the meaning of voice quality. Okay. I am during the lecture, I am asking you a question. My voice is clear. My voice is audible. It means, what does it mean? Means my voice is properly delivered to you or not. So voice quality is one of the main parameter for evaluating the performance for the mobile communication. If our voice is not clear, so there is a network issue. So this parameter is very, very important, and I am going to explain this parameter in detail. So I will start with the voice quality. You can see this is the quality scale. So voice quality is very hard to judge without the subjective test actually from the user's opinion. Means we have to take the opinions from the users that the voice is clear or not. So engineers can't decide how to build a system without knowing the voice quality that satisfies us. Actually, in military, but in military applications or communication, situations are different. For any given commercial application system, the voice quality will be based upon the criteria that we are taking a set value X at which Y% of customers rate the system voice quality. Means we are giving some voice quality, that is a number, voice quality number, that is X, and we will take the feedback from the customers, that is Y. Means how much customers are satisfied with that voice quality from transmitter to the receiver. It can be good, voice quality can be good, excellent, and it can be top of the two circuit merits. CM stands for circuit merits. Here I have written in this table, that is CM. CM stands for circuit merits. So there are 5 circuit circuit merits on which we have decided that the voice quality is clear or not. As you can see on your screen in the table form, we have 5 circuit merits. first is CM5 and having the score is 5. Okay, we are giving, actually this is the just like feedback. If I will give the 5, score 5 for CM5, then means the voice quality scale is excellent. Means speech is perfectly understandable by all the customers. Now the CM4, having the score 4, it means voice quality is good. Means speech can easily be understandable, but some noise is at it. As you know that practical systems always include the effect of noise also. Whereas the CM5 is the ideal case. It can never be approachable. Next is CM3. So score is 3. Means our speech or voice or audio is understandable with slight effort. Occasionally, repetition needed. Sometimes you can analyze in your real life. If we are talking on phone, on mobile, sometimes we are asking to another person who is listening our talk. We are saying, kindly repeat it, because there is something, speech is understandable actually with the slight effort. Means we have to do the slight effort to listen the speech or understanding the speech. Next circuit merit is CM2, that is having the score of 2. In this case, the quality scale is actually poor. So frequently repetitions are needed in that, and speech or audio is understandable only with the considerable effort. Next is CM1, that is circuit merit 1, having the score 1. And in this case, quality scale is unsatisfactory. Means the speech or audio is not understandable. And this is the poorest. You can say this is the poorest voice quality we are getting in this CM1. In real life, if you are or we are facing this type of problem, then definitely we will change our network. Even though we are using the Jio, Airtel, if voice quality is not clear, then definitely we will change our network. So quality scale should be such as that audio should be understandable or speech should be understandable. As the percentage of customers choosing CM4 and CM5 increases, but the cost of the building the system, that will be also rises. Means if I want to get circuit merit 4 or 5, then for that efficient devices should be used, and that affects the actually cost for getting CM4 and CM5. A parameter we are getting for evaluating the voice quality is MOS, that is mean opinion score. Okay, now what is this? Actually, This parameter is the average of CM scores. Means, sorry. If we take the average of the CM scores, that is circuit merit score, obtained from all the listeners, all the customers, is known as your mean opinion score. Actually, usually the quality wise is around MOS should be greater than 4. Should be equal to greater than 4. Means equal to 4 is also good, and greater than 4 is always required. So this was the concept of voice quality, which was the one of the performance criteria and the most important criteria. Now come on to the next performance criteria. The next performance criteria is your service quality. Okay. Second one criteria is your service quality. Actually, 3 items are required for the service quality. First is coverage. Second is required grade of service. And the third is number of dropped calls. Now, I will discuss service quality performance criteria in detail. First point is coverage. Actually, the system should serve an area as large as possible. Means we require a system which cover or serve an area as large as possible. With radio coverage, means wireless coverage. However, we know that irregular terrain also there. So actually not practical. We can 100% area is not covered due to some practical reasons. There are 2 reasons why 100% area is not covered properly. First is the transmitted power. Actually, the transmitted power should be very high to eliminate the weak spots. Weak spots with sufficient reception. As you know, if in daily life, I'm talking now, in daily life, sometimes if we are going into the basement of any building, our signal is in cut-off position. Means we are not getting the network there. It means 100% area is coverage is not covered by that network. But if that is called weak spot, if we want that in that weak spot signal should be reached, for that a significant cost factor will be added. This was the first point. Now the second point. The second point is that higher the transmitted power, if we are using the transmitted power as high as possible, there will be no control on the interference. Means there will be too much interference. Therefore, actually All the practical systems usually try to cover 90% of an area in the flat terrain and 75% area in the hilly terrain, where the combined voice quality and coverage criteria is 75% of the users actually rate the voice quality between good and excellent in 90% of the served area. Means if we are covering the 90% area coverage, in that only 75% customers give us the feedback as the voice quality is in the good and excellent circuit merits. So the voice quality and coverage, both parameters go side by side. The voice quality and coverage criteria would be adjusted as per the decided various terrain conditions. Whereas if I am talking about the hilly terrain, 90% of the users must rate the quality, voice quality, good or excellent in the 75% of the served area. Means that is opposite. 75% area is covered, but now the quality is, voice quality is 90% in the hilly terrain. But in the flat terrain, it was opposite. 90% area was covered, but voice quality is 75%. 75% given by the users. So, a system operator can lower the percentage values for low performance and low cost system. But we know that everyone should require good coverage and as well as quality. If we want to increase the coverage as well as the voice quality, it will definitely, a significant cost will be definitely, cost factor will be definitely added. Now, the second point under the service quality, that is required grade of service. Okay, grade of service is in the abbreviation form known as GOS, that is grade of service. What is grade of service actually? The grade of service is specified for a blocking probability for initiating the calls at the busy hour. Actually, this is an average value. Means in busy hours, how much calls are blocked. So, the blocking probability at each cell site, at each tower in any area will be different. In the busy hour, traffic is usually actually heavy. So, blocking probability is normally higher than 2%. And if we want that to decrease the blocking probability, that is the number of blocked calls should be low, as low possible, we should require a good system plan and sufficient number of radio channels. So If we are having the more number of radio channels, there will be less number of blocking calls. So, a sufficient number of radio channels help us to decrease the blocking probability or number of blocked calls. Now, the third point, that is number of dropped calls. Number of dropped calls under this parameter, as you came to know from the name, that number of dropped calls means sometimes in daily life, if I am calling to you, let us suppose I am calling someone, my call is dropped again and again due to the network issue. So this is the another performance criteria under the service quality. Number of dropped calls should also be low as low possible. Let us suppose in 1 hour few calls are made, and if one call is dropped, if one call is dropped, then how many calls will be completed? Naturally, Q minus 1. I will explain in the easy language also. If 10 calls are made in a hour by 10 customers, from 10, only one customer call is dropped. So, number of dropped calls is 1 and number of successful calls are 9. So, if I am taking as Q, value 10 as Q, so number of dropped calls will be 1. So the number of calls which are successfully completed, that is Q minus 1, that is 9. So in that, the call drop rate is 1 by Q, means 1 by 10, means only one call is your drop. I'm taking one as an example, not 10 calls, limited to 10 calls. There are 1,000 calls, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 calls can be in a busy hour. I'm taking only as a reference as a 10 calls. And the number of dropped calls rate must be kept low. A high drop rate could either cause you due to the coverage problem, or second one is handoff problem. Why your number of dropped calls rate high? It depends upon the coverage. If your whole area is not covered properly, or second one is handoff. In yesterday lecture, I already discussed with you what is handoff. If we are moving, if I am initializing a call in an area with that cell site, means that cell tower, but if I move as far as from that cell site, there is a possibility that my call is dropped. But a procedure which is used that your call should not be dropped, a handoff procedure is come into the role. One cell site handed over their signal to the another cell site so that our signal or call is not dropped. And the coverage problem, handoff problems actually that are related to your channel availability. If we have no adequate channels, number of channels, then our calls will be dropped due to coverage or the handoff. So this was the explanation for the service quality. Now the third last performance criteria is your special features. In this criteria, a system should provide as many as special features as possible, like call forwarding, call waiting, voice stored box VSR, that is automatic roaming feature, navigation purposes. Actually, these are the special features on which performance criteria also depend, because we know that no customer may not willing to pay extra charges for these type of features. So sometimes the customers may not be willing to pay extra charges for these special features. So special features without any cost should be provided. It also the part of our performance criteria. So we have completed this performance criteria topic. I am summarizing it. Performance criteria depends upon the three parameters. First is voice quality, second is service quality, and third is special features. Okay, now we will do the next concept, that is operation of cellular systems. Actually, the operation of cellular systems divided into four parts and a handoff procedure, means actually four parts: mobile unit initialization, mobile unit originated call, network originated call, and fourth is call termination, along with one more, that is handoff procedure. In this topic, I will discuss with you how our mobile phone or cellular system works when we are doing a call to someone. The call can be from mobile to mobile, it can be from mobile to landline. Before making a call to someone, firstly I will start my phone. So first step is mobile unit initialization. Okay, I will explain these five one by one. First is mobile unit initialization. By name, we came to know that if my mobile is in the switch off condition, if I will now press button to start it, then my mobile will be initialized. My mobile will be on. What happens when mobile is initialized? Actually, When I will start or my mobile phone is initialized, the receiver in the mobile scans the 21 setup channels among the 416 channels. Means setup initialization will be done by the setup channels. Then it selects the strongest and locks on that channel for a certain time. Actually, each cell site means each tower is assigned a different setup channel. Locking on to the strongest setup channel means selecting the nearest cell site, means selecting the nearest tower. So this is the automatic actually procedure. There is no role of any user. This self-location scheme is used in the idle stage and it is user independent. And the advantage is that it eliminates the load on the transmission at the cell site for locating your mobile unit. But there is also disadvantage of self-location scheme is that no location information of idle mobile unit appears at each cell site. Actually, therefore, when some call initiates from the landline to the mobile unit, the paging process is actually longer. A large percentage of calls actually originate at the mobile unit. So the use of self-location scheme is justified. But in the future, when landline originated calls, means the calls which are originated means the calls made by the landline number, landline phone, a feature called registration can be used. So this comes under the mobile unit initialization. Self-location scheme is under the mobile unit initialization. Second is mobile originated call. In this step, the user places the called number into an originating register in the mobile unit and checks to see that the number is correct. Okay, sometimes we know that each one of us having the mobile number of 10 digits. Sometimes by mistake we are dialing only 8 numbers. Firstly, it will firstly it will if I want to make a call, firstly it will check the number is correct or not. If number is correct, then it pushes the send button. Then we will make a call. If our number is not correct, then call can't be made. If now our number is correct, a request for service is sent on the selected setup channel on which our mobile unit is logged. That is the setup channel, which is we know that is obtained from the self location scheme. The cell site receive the signal, receive the request, and select the best directive antenna for voice channel to use. Firstly, we should have to deal with the setup channel. Then second is voice channel. Now, because setup channel is helpful for making the initiating and ending the call. But for voice, because we will, if I want to make call someone, then I will definitely speak. So voice is to be sent. So there is also requirement of voice channel. So what is the function of cell site? It selects the best directive antenna for the voice channel to use. And at the same time, cell site also send a request to the MTSO. MTSO stands for your mobile telephone switching office via high speed data link. Now, what MTSO done? The MTSO select an appropriate voice channel for the call and cell site acts on it using the best directive antenna to link the mobile unit. So the MTSO also connects the wireline party to the telephone company zone office. So in this step, how our call is originated, we have studied. Third is your network originated call. In the case of network originated call means a call that is made from the landline phone. So a landline party also dials a mobile unit number. So the telephone company zone office recognize that the number is mobile, means when we are making a call from a landline to a mobile. Let us suppose I am doing a call from landline number to the mobile unit. So telephone company actually recognize that the number is mobile. So it will forward that call to the MTSO. And again MTSO what it will do? The MTSO sends a paging message to certain cell site based upon the mobile unit number and search the algorithm. We know that each cell site transmit its own setup channel. On strong setup channel logs onto it and respond to the cell site. So in this case, the mobile unit also follows the instruction to tune to the assigned voice channel and initiate the user alert. So in the network originated call, when a landline phone dials a number to a mobile. So this was the third operation. Fourth, that is call termination. In this case, when the mobile user turns off the transmitter, when our talking with someone is over, then my mobile phone transmitter turns off and a particular signal, that is signaling tone, transmit to the cell site. And both sides, means transmitter and receiver, sorry, free the voice channel because our talk has been completed. The mobile unit resumes monitoring pages through the stronger setup channel again. So these were the 4 steps for operation of a cellular system. I will summarize it. Firstly, it will initialize our mobile unit. Second, mobile to mobile call. Third, landline to mobile call. And then last is call termination when our call has been ended. Along with these 4 parts, one is again for one also is included in that, that is handoff procedure. During the call, actually, 2 parties are on the voice channel, and we know that when mobile unit means, let us suppose I move out of the coverage of an area of a particular cell site, then reception will become weak. So in that case, the present cell site requests a handoff, and the system actually switches it call to a new frequency channel in a new cell site without interrupting our call or alerting us. In this way, the call continues as long as the user is talking. We are talking. We does not notice the handoff occurrences. Actually, the handoff used firstly used by the AMPS system, AMPS. That was your analog system. After this, it is renamed as handover in the European systems. So this was the operation of the cellular system. With this, we have completed this topic. Okay, dear students, next topic is your planning a cellular system. Okay, in this topic, we have 3 parameters on which we are planning a cellular system. First is how to start planning. Second is engineer's role. And third is finding the solutions. In the first step, we will start a plan. Start a plan means, let us suppose I want to establish a tower in my area. I just planned out. Now I will discuss my requirements to an engineer. Here engineer's role becomes. According to my requirement, that person means that is engineer will build up a system, cellular system, according to my requirements. Third is finding the solutions. Means if I am facing problems in that, then solution for that problems will be find out in third step. So planning a system, cellular system is divided into 3 parts, 3 steps. Firstly, plan means how to start planning. Second is the engineer's role, and third is the finding solution. Now I will discuss these three steps one by one in detail. First step is how to start planning. Okay, sorry. In this step, further I have to take the under the considerations, regulations and market situation. In how to start planning, assume that the construction permit for a cellular system in a particular market area is granted. Means I have taken the permission and the permission is granted in that area. The planning stage becomes critical because a great deal of money can be spent and yet poor service may be provided if we don't know how to create a good plan. Without planning, money will be waste if poor service is provided. In that case, we have to determine the two elements. First is regulation and second is market situation. In the regulations, okay, we have to take two elements. First is regulations. The federal regulations that is given by FCC may be different from state to state, and each city and town may have its own building codes and zoning laws. Firstly, we should know about the rules and regulations to build up a cellular system, which is given by that rules and regulations are given by FCC, that is federal regulations. Sometimes waivers need to be applied for ahead of time and be sure that plan is workable or not. Second elements we should kept in mind, that is market situation. In this step, we have the three tasks to be handled by the marketing department. First is prediction of gross income. Second is understanding the competitors. And third is design of geographic coverage. In the prediction of gross income, we should have to determine the population, how much population is there, average income of that, business type, their business types, business zones, means how much gross income can be predicted in that type, in that particular area. That depends on the customers, profession and population. Second is understanding the competitors. In this, we also need to know the competitor situations, coverage, then system performance, number of customers they are serving already. Sorry. Any system should provide a unique and outstanding service to overcome the competition. Because you know that in this era, there is so many competition between the different networks like Zio, Reliance, Zio, Airtel, Vodafone, these all are the competitors. Third is design of geographic coverage. What general area should ultimately be covered means how much geographic area is to be covered. That is design or decision of geographic coverage. And these all the questions answers by a professional, that is engineering by the engineer. So second step is engineer's role. The engineer follow the market decisions by some points. I will discuss these points in detail. The engineer taken care of the point like initiating a cellular mobile service in a given area by creating plan that uses a minimum number of cell sites to cover the whole area. Actually, it is easy for marketing to request, but hard for the engineers to fulfill. Second is that checking the areas that marketing indicated were important revenue areas. Actually, it depends on the number of number of voice channels or radio channels required to handle the traffic in that particular area during the busy hours. Third point taken care is studying the interference problem, such as there can be sport channel interference, adjacent channel interference. The interference between the two channels is adjacent, but the interference between the channel in the channel itself is known as co-channel interference. Interference problems like co-channel, adjacent channel, and the intermodulation products also is a sort of interference generated at the cell sites, and finding the ways to reduce these type of interference problems. Next, fourth is studying the blocking probability of each call at the each cell site and try to minimize the blocking the call. Another point taken care by the engineer is planning to absorb more new customers. The rate at which new customers subscribe to a system can vary actually depending on the service charges. Means if Jio has less charges, Jio network has less charges as compared to Airtel and Vodafone. So it will be more popular. So it depends upon the service charges, system performance, and seasons of the year. So engineering has tried to develop new technologies to utilize fully the limited spectrum assigned to the cellular system. So also the analysis of spectrum efficiency due to natural limitations may lead to a request for the larger spectrum. So these were the some of the points that should taken care about care about planning a cellular system by the engineers. So this was the engineer. This is the engineer's role here. Now the last is finding the solution. Last step is finding the solutions. Many practical design tools, methods of reducing the interference, and ways to solve the blocking probability of call initiation are taken care for finding these type of solutions for these type of problems. So with this, we have completed this topic also. In the next lecture, we will do the next topics of wireless communication systems. Thank you.